रियल फ्रुट्सबाट बनेको रियल जुस, त्यसैले त रियल जुस रियल हुने। नेपालमै सबैभन्दा रुचाइएको चामल, ज्ञान पाए ज्ञान नै रोज्ने। नयाँ गुड नाइट फ्ल्याश अरु लिक्विड वेपोराइजर भन्दा 2 गुणा बढी प्रभावशाली।
Proud to be associated with Kantipur News.
Good evening, I'm Samriti Kesi and these are the headlines of the hour. High Court Tulsipur Butwal bench orders detention of Rashtriya Swatantra Party chair Ravi Lamichhane on cooperative fraud case, overturns district court's order to release him on bail. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli meets his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi at Thailand. 6-point proposal agreed upon. PM calls for cooperation for prosperity. China hits back against Donald Trump's tariffs with an additional 34% tax on US goods. Stock markets around the world plummets following the announcement. And Chitwan FC defeats Butwal Lumbini FC by 1-0 in today's match of Nepal Super League. Chitwan leads the league table with the victory. The Butwal bench of the Tulsipur High Court has ordered the detention of chairperson of Rashtriya Swatantra Party RSP Ravi Lamichhane, who has been alleged of cooperative fraud and organized crime and money laundering charges. The High Court overturned the Rupandehi District Court's decision to release Lamichhane on bail of 10 million Nepali rupees and ordered his detention. The Tulsipur High Court Butwal bench issued the order during the hearing of the case against Lamichhane and Chabilal Joshi concerning the fraud and organized crime related to the Supreme Cooperative in Butwal.
गंभीर वा जघन्य प्रकृतिका वा सामाजिक रूपमा धेरै व्यक्तिहरू पीडित भएको कसुरको अनुसन्धान र मुद्दाको पूर्वपक्षको क्रममा तत्काल प्राप्त प्रमाणबाट शङ्कित वा अभियुक्तले कसुर गरेको देखिएमा निजलाई सामान्यतया हिरासत वा थुनामा नै राखिन्छ।
In a similar case, the Rupandehi District Court had demanded 10 million rupees in bail from Ravi Lamichhane on 26th of January, while Chabilal Joshi was sent to jail for a pre-trial detention on February 11th. Following the discrepancy of bail for one person and detention for another in a case of similar nature, the District Attorney's Office appealed the High Court demanding Ravi's detention as well. Likewise, Chabi also filed a petition claiming he should be released on bail. Lamichhane also filed another petition requesting to fight the case on a regular date instead of bail. After separate petitions were filed in similar cases, the Butwal High Court ordered them to be heard together and joint hearings were held yesterday and today. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has stated that the main objectives of the BIMSTEC summit and Nepal's national aspirations of prosperous Nepal, happy Nepali, are closely aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. He also stated that climate change is creating a crisis for the existence of overall humanity. Premier emphasized the need for cooperation in the social, economic and environmental development of the entire region through BIMSTEC's prosperous, resilient and open future. He said that investment in human resources and improvement in trade are necessary for regional prosperity. Oli also called for prioritizing coordination and cooperation on issues such as regional climate change, disaster preparedness and emergency health services. He stated that unity and dedication within BIMSTEC are needed to promote digital friendliness, tourism, cultural exchange and cross-border investment. Prime Minister Oli acknowledged that economies of the BIMSTEC member states are not equal and urged member states to provide assistance to empower member states with special needs. Meanwhile, the BIMSTEC summit concluded today with the issuance of the Bangkok Vision document. Focusing on expanding trade, connectivity and human security in the region, the summit adopted a 6-point proposal including the BIMSTEC Bangkok Vision under the slogan of prosperity, resilience and openness. The proposal includes the formation of a work-oriented mechanism to make BIMSTEC more effective, the formation of a group of eminent persons to determine its future, the maritime transport agreement and assistance to earthquake-affected Myanmar and Thailand. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi have met in Bangkok, Thailand. The meeting between the Prime Ministers of Nepal and India took place in Bangkok immediately after the BIMSTEC summit concluded. The Prime Minister's Secretariat has stated that discussions were held on issues of mutual interest. Previously, the two Prime Ministers met at the United Nations General Assembly in the United States about 7 months ago. After becoming Prime Minister on 15th of July, Oli has already visited the northern neighbor China. However, a visit to India has not yet been scheduled. The government has clarified that those involved in the anarchy instigated in Tinkune, Kathmandu aimed at overturning the Federal Democratic Republican system and the constitution will not be spared regardless of their political ideology. Informing the State Affairs Committee of the Parliament about the March 28th incident, Home Minister Ramesh Lekhak stated that attempts to seize the people's system of governance would not be allowed to succeed. The Parliamentary Committee has directed for an impartial investigation into the incident and action against the perpetrators.
In the State Affairs and Good Governance Committee, Home Minister Lekhak described the demonstration by pro-monarchy groups on March 28th as anarchy, not a protest. Lekhak pledged an impartial investigation into the incident and action against those involved in criminal activities in accordance with the law.
मानिसलाई बिना प्रमाण कुनै मानिसलाई बिना आपराधिक संलग्नता मुद्दा चलाइदैन दुख दिइदैन तर संलग्न भएका मानिसलाई कानुन बमोजिम कारबाही गरिन्छ कुनै हालतले छोड्दैन.
In the violent activities carried out by the pro-monarchy groups in the Tinkune area on 28th of March, 2 people, including a journalist, were killed and media houses, individuals and public property were vandalized, looted and set on fire. In Friday's meeting of the State Affairs and Good Governance Committee, members of Parliament demanded a judicial inquiry committee stating that the Home Minister's response was insufficient.
यो 15 गतेको घटनाको चाहिँ छानबिन आयोग बन्न पर्छ. मलाई लाग्छ मेरो प्रमुख सचेतक यहाँ हुनुहुन्छ हाम्रो पार्टीको माग पनि हुन सक्छ र मेरो व्यक्तिगत रूपमा म सांसदको हिसाबले पनि यतिले मात्र पुग्दैन. न्यायिक छानबिन समिति गठन हुनुपर्छ. गठनको माग गर्छु मैले एउटा कुरा.
Responding to the lawmakers' questions, Home Minister Lekhak said that a judicial committee was unnecessary as the cause, individuals involved and the criminal nature of the incident were already established. He stated that the state's investigative bodies would conduct investigations and the guilty would be punished. Lawmakers questioned why Durga Prasad, allegedly the commander of the protests, was not arrested despite driving a vehicle at security personnel. They also expressed suspicion about the government's lack of seriousness in addressing attacks on party offices and media houses.
Durga Prasadलाई नियन्त्रणमा लिएको हामीले भिडियो देखाएको छौं. प्रहरीले घेरा हालेको भिडियो देखाएको छौं. हिजो पनि टेलिभिजनबाट मैले त्यो हेरेको थिएँ. त्यो नियन्त्रणमा लिइसकेपछि दुर्गा प्रसादलाई किन छाड्यो?
Police leadership claimed that unnecessary force was not used, efforts were made to control the mob and vandalism, and there was no intervention at the assembly site. Lawmakers questioned Minister Lekhak why permission was granted for 2 protests on the same day and why precautions were not taken given the proximity of the airport, fuel depot, parliament building and media houses in the Tinkune area. The Home Minister responded that permission was granted after assurances from the organizers that there would be no unrest.
मलाई सिनेमंगल क्षेत्र कस्तो लाग्छ भने यो विमानस्थल पनि यही छ. इन्धन डिपो पनि ठूलो भण्डारण त्यही छ. पेट्रोल पम्पदेखि मिडिया हाउसहरु पनि त्यसैमा छन्. सिनेमंगल तिनकुने जसो संवेदनशील ठाउँमा जो सुरक्षाको राडर भित्र पर्छ होला. आज त्यो ठाउँमा हामीले कल्पना गरेका व्यक्तिहरुलाई तिमीले त्यहाँ कार्यक्रम गर भन्नु सुरक्षा निकायहरु हाम्रो कमी कमजोरी हो कि होइन.
Home Minister Lekhak stated that the pro-monarchy group deliberately pelted stones at the buildings of media houses, including Kantipur Television, a guardian of democracy. The State Affairs Committee directed the government to prevent protests in Tinkune and to provide necessary budget for resources for the police.
Nepal Rashtra Bank's Governor Mahaprasad Adhikari has stated that investment-friendly interest rates have been maintained due to the bank's efforts. Reviewing his 5-year tenure, Governor Adhikari claimed that the economy did not face significant problems during the COVID-19 pandemic due to sound policies, and that the country has also been spared from the inflation caused by the Russia-Ukraine war. Governor Adhikari is retiring this Sunday. As Sunday is a public holiday, he formally bid farewell to Nepal Rashtra Bank today. The Council of Ministers appointed Adhikari for a 5-year term on 6th of April 2020. Governor Adhikari argued that some of the rules implemented during his tenure may have disadvantaged certain groups in the short term, but will ultimately benefit the country in the long run.
चालू पुँजी कर्जा मार्गदर्शन जस्ता केही महत्त्वपूर्ण व्यवस्थाहरू वित्तीय प्रणालीको दीर्घकालीन हितमा समर्पित व्यवस्थाहरू हुन्। उक्त व्यवस्थाहरू कतिपय व्यक्ति, समुदाय र क्षेत्रलाई अल्पकालीन असहजता महसुस भए पनि यी व्यवस्थाहरूबाट दीर्घकालीन रूपमा वित्तीय प्रणाली र समग्र अर्थतन्त्रको लागि अत्यावश्यक र महत्त्वपूर्ण सुधारका रूपमा रहनेछन्।
In the Nepalese year of 2078, the then Finance Minister Janardhan Sharma formed an investigation committee against the governor, leading to his suspension. Governor Adhikari described this during his farewell as a blatant interference in the central bank's autonomy. He also mentioned that the Supreme Court protected the autonomy of Nepal Rashtra Bank at that time. And in this context, in our Public Voice segment today, we have asked in several provinces how was the tenure of Governor of Nepal Rashtra Bank, Mahaprasad Adhikari. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
राष्ट्र बैंकको नेतृत्वबाट त्यति समयानुकूल भएर राष्ट्रलाई चाहिँ आर्थिक रूपमा बलियो बनाउन सकेको पाइएन।
राष्ट्रिक आमूल परिवर्तन भन्ने चाहिँ त्यस्तो केही पनि देखिएन।
मुलुकको अर्थलाई चाहिँ जुन उकास्न पर्ने जुन अवस्था थियो, जुन नीति आउनु पर्ने थियो, त्यो नीति आउन सकेन।
2 नम्बरी धन्दा चाहिँ फस्टाइरहेको छ। तपाई हामीले प्रश्न देखेका छौं। अब विकासको कुरा गर्ने हो भने विकास कस्तो भएको छ भन्दाखेरि कच्चा विकास भएको छ।
यिनी जति बेला आएदेखि नै विवादमा परेको अवस्था र पछिल्लो समय उनले आफूले जे तरिकाबाट जानु पर्थ्यो राष्ट्रको तपाईको आर्थिक नीतिमा त्यो खालको गएको भेटिएको छैन।
नराम्रो पनि भन्नुपर्ने केही छैन, राम्रो भनेर त्यस्तै व्याख्या गर्नुपर्ने पनि केही छ जस्तो लाग्यो।
अर्थतन्त्र डामाडोल रह्यो र तपाईको चाहिँ युवा स्वरोजगारको चाहिँ कुरा पनि आएन र युवाहरू वैदेशिक बाध्य हुँदै गए।
साना उद्योगहरुमा कलकारखानाहरु लगानी गर्नुपर्ने थियो, त्यति लगानी हुन सकिराखेको छैन।
अर्थतन्त्र जसरी चलायमान हुनुपर्ने हो त्यो चाहिँ देखिएको छैन।
समग्रमा हेर्दाखेरि सन्तोषजनक चाहिँ हामीले पाएनौं।
विश्व संकटग्रस्त भइरहेको अवस्थामा पनि नेपाललाई एक तवरले आर्थिक सूचकमा सुरक्षित बनाउन उनको भूमिका सकारात्मक रहेकोले सफल भएको मैले चाहिँ मान्दछु।
उहाँको पालामा अर्थतन्त्र चुनौतीपूर्ण नै भएको थियो, किनभने कोरोना महामारी उहाँकै पालामा थियो र राष्ट्र बैंकलाई अघि बढाउन उहाँले गर्नुभएको पछिको काम कर्तव्य निष्ठावान नै छ।
बैंकहरुमा पुँजी जम्मा भइरहेको अवस्था छ भने त्यसको लगानी प्रवर्धन हुन सकिरहेको स्थिति छैन।
उहाँमाथि जुन आरोपहरू खत्म गर्यो, गलत गर्यो, सबै कुरा बिगार्यो भनेर भनिए तापनि पछिल्लो समय आएर हेर्दाखेरि यो लगभग परिवेशलाई हेर्दाखेरि सकेसम्मको लयमा ल्याउन खोजेको चाहिँ देखिन्छ।
Welcome back. Former Managing Director of Nepal Electricity Authority, Kulman Khising, has alleged government of dismissing him because of his attempt to recover outstanding payments from dedicated and trunk line users. He also stated that even though he is leaving the authority, he is ready to take on any responsibility for the development of the energy sector in the future. Following the Supreme Court's refusal to issue an interim order for his reinstatement, Khising held a press conference today clarifying that he followed the law, not individual orders. He accused the state of misusing its full power to remove him while he was working on tasks mandated by Nepal's laws.
प्राधिकरण जस्तो सार्वजनिक निकायको कार्यकारी निर्देशकको रूपमा मैले सार्वजनिक कोषको उक्त बक्यौता रकम असुल गर्ने बाटो लिए। त्यसैले मन्त्री र मन्त्री स्तरीय निर्णयबाट स्पष्टीकरण सोध्ने, थकाउने, गलाउने प्रयास भइरहेका थिए, तर बक्यौता रकम नउठाउने गरी आएका आग्रह, प्रभाव, दबावलाई मेरो जिम्मेवारी, निष्ठा र कर्तव्यले स्वीकार गर्न सकेन।
Kissing alleged that responsible state officials abused even the parliament by verbally attacking the managing director of the authority. He stated that while working at the authority, he was distracted from his main duties by being asked for details and clarifications on meaningless issues up to 6 times. He also said that when he tried to cut off power of these industries to recover dues on 4 occasions, obstacles were created by higher authorities.
नेपालको कानुनले निर्दिष्ट गरेको काममा खटिएको एक कर्मचारीमाथि राज्यको सम्पूर्ण शक्ति कसरी खनिएको थियो, कसको स्वार्थ र सेवामा ममाथि जाइ लागेको थियो भन्ने विषयमा नेपाली जनता आफै प्रष्ट हुनुहुन्छ। प्राधिकरणको कार्यकारी निर्देशकलाई गाली गर्न राज्यका जिम्मेवार व्यक्तिहरूले नै सार्वभौम संसदको रोस्टम कसरी सदुपयोग र दुरुपयोग गरे नेपाली जनता आफैले प्रत्यक्षदर्शी हुनुहुन्छ।
Kissing accused those in leadership positions in the government of carrying out a planned attack to demoralize the authority. He said that instead of utilizing the right to appeal the authority's review committee and electricity regulatory commission if dissatisfied with tariffs, the tendency to go to the power centers must end. It is time for our segment Public Pulse, where text us with your opinion. But before today's question, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we had asked you what's your take on different groups, including teachers and victims of cooperatives and loan sharks, taking it to the streets. Option A, 39% voted for search for justice, 29% voted for option B, to pile pressure on the government, and 32% voted for option C, vested interests. Here's today's question. What's your take on Kulman Kissing organizing a press conference after court's refusal to issue an interim order for his reinstatement? Option A, trusting the court. Option B, result of political maneuvering. And option C, wait and watch. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us.
Sports News.
Chitwan Football Club has achieved its second consecutive victory in today's match of Nepal Super League, defeating Butwa Lumbini FC by 1-0. With this win, Chitwan has moved to the top of the league table. Butwa Lumbini, on the other hand, has yet to secure a win after 3 games. For Chitwan, in the 13th minute, Anjan Bista's weak attempt came from a cross by Shishir Lekhi. In the 16th minute, Abhishek's header from Torik Jebrin's corner failed to find the net. Chitwan continued to press offensively and Nodir Mavlonov's long-range shot went over the post. In the 39th minute, Nodir took a free kick, but this time goalkeeper Deep Karki easily shaved his shot. In the 41st minute, captain Eric Bista's free kick struck the crossbar. Despite Eric's beautiful and skillful attempt, he was unable to score. In the first half's injury time, Chitwan's attacking effort was thwarted by a good save from goalkeeper Deep. That is all for the moment. Up next is news in Nepali. Thank you for watching. Good night.